In today's lecture, we will be covering chapter 8 and chapter 9 of the novel Matilda. In chapter 8, we are introduced in detail to the character of Miss Trunchbull. At the end of chapter number 7, Miss Honey realizes that Matilda is an extraordinarily gifted girl, and she decides to go to talk to the principal Trunchbull about this brilliant student. She wanted to promote Matilda to a higher class with 11-year-old students because she believed that Matilda was smarter than all the students that she was studying with. Normally, Miss Honey avoided Trunchbull at all costs, but today she was ready to face her. She entered the office where Trunchbull was standing beside her desk. If you look at Trunchbull and her character, she wears these green colored clothes, tight belt. She wears these long knee length socks and she wears chunky brown boots. Her hair is tied up in a bun. She wears gloves and she has a riding crop. A riding crop is an object which is used to beat horses so that they could run faster. She used to be an athlete when she was young and she still behaves like that. So she has no femininity. She's the complete opposite of Miss Honey. Miss Honey is very sweet and delicate and gentle. Mm, Trunchbull is the complete opposite of that. Nobody ever understood how Trunchbull became headmistress. She was not empathetic. Empathetic means that a person is supposed to have sympathy. They are supposed to feel the pain of others. She wasn't warm. She wasn't courteous. She wasn't considerate of other students' feelings. ठीक है? And these are all qualities that are expected out of an headmistress. Miss Honey mentioned Matilda's name, that she wanted to talk about Matilda, and Trunchbull explained that she had bought a car from Mr. Wormwood the previous day. एक दिन पहले उन्होंने वो कार खरीदी होती है. Who is the owner of Wormwood Motors. The car was in excellent shape. It had only run 1,000 miles and was previously owned by an old woman who hardly used it. But we all know that that is not the truth. उन्होंने faulty कार ही बेची है इनको. Mr. Wormwood said that Matilda is a spoiled child who needs to be trained, and hence she was given admission in Cruncham Hall. Miss Honey disagreed. She said, no, that Matilda is the opposite. She's brilliant and smart. She can solve maths easily and she can read big words. Trunchbull doesn't believe or agree with Miss Honey, and she says that Matilda needs to stay in her class. She cannot be promoted. That is not the school's policy. Trunchbull is convinced that Matilda has planted a stink bomb under her chair, a bomb because that caused her room to smell really awful the whole day. So she was convinced that this was Matilda. Why? Because it was Matilda's first day और उसी दिन उनके ऑफिस में ये हुआ. So she's convinced कि Matilda की हरकत होगी. Miss Honey decided that I will have to do something else. I have to take matters in my own hands since Trunchbull is not helping her. After she comes out of the office, she arranges books for Matilda on the subjects of geometry, algebra, French, and English literature. She gave those books to Matilda and she told her that you already know the material, you know all the tables, you are smarter than all the rest of the children. So while I'm teaching them, you can sit in the class and you can study these books that I've given to you. And if you have any questions, you can come to me after the class. Matilda was very glad. She took the books and she sat down to study. And she was soon engrossed. Engrossed means she was interested. She was lost in the book. उसी में, she started to read it and she started to enjoy the books. Miss Honey then decided that she will talk to Matilda's parents so that and she would offer to teach Matilda privately after school because she saw that Matilda was smart and she had a lot of potential. That same night, Miss Honey reached Matilda's house. She took her address out of the school records. और रात को 9 से 10 के बीच में उधर पहुंची because she guessed that Matilda might be sleeping at that time. She didn't want to talk in front of Matilda. So she reached there. When she knocked on the door, Mr. Wormwood opened it and he said that we are not interested in buying raffle tickets. Raffle tickets are lottery tickets. Okay. Miss Honey introduced herself. She said that my name is Miss Jennifer Honey and I'm Matilda's teacher and I wanted to talk to you about Matilda. Mr. Wormwood believed that she was in some kind of trouble. He thought that on the first day itself, Matilda has caused some sort of problem in the school. Mr. Wormwood didn't want to talk to Miss Honey. He said, "Okay, you know what? I don't want to talk to you. We are very busy. We are watching television. Me and my wife are watching television." Miss Honey, but she still said, "Okay, you know what? It's important." She was very strict and adamant, "Okay, no, I want to talk to you. It will happen right now." So, anyways, she enters the house. Mr. Wormwood lowered the volume. उन्होंने volume कम कर दिया, but he didn't switch off the television. Miss Honey then explained to the parents that your child is extraordinary and wanted to know who taught her how to read and do math. उनका सवाल था कि your child is extraordinary. I wanted to know if father or the mother who has taught her to read and to do math. Both the parents expressed their dislike for how much time she spends reading. They both hate that Matilda spends so much time reading and they would prefer if she learned other useful things. ठीक है, वो चाहते थे कि वो घर का काम सीखे, that she would learn how to cook and how to knit and how to clean the house, but she's only interested in reading books, and the parents did not like that one bit. Miss Honey then explains calmly to her parents that if Matilda is given private tuitions, even for 1 hour or 2 hour in a day after school, she would really benefit from it and she would be able to attend university in a few years. College or university, in America, they don't say the word university, they use the word college. Medical colleges, hote, engineering colleges. Hote. So Mr. Wormwood becomes really angry at this and he explains that he has no plans to send Matilda to a university. He believes that women who are very educated, they don't get married because men don't like women who are very educated. And so he thinks that this is just a waste. Mr. Wormwood's plan is that once Matilda becomes mature, he is going to marry her off and will send her off to another house. Then he will not have to deal with her. His only concern is Michael. उनका point है कि लड़कियों की शादी हो जाती है, they go to another house. So his investment, his real treasure is the son who will stay in the family, who will run the family business. So he doesn't want Matilda to get educated. He just wants her to get matured and get married. He then gives his own example. He says that I'm not educated, I don't have a college degree, I am not a graduate, but I am richer than Miss Honey, who is just a teacher. वो कहता है आप teacher हैं, but I still earn more money than you. Miss Honey then tells Mr. Wormwood that if he gets sick, he will need a doctor. If he gets into legal trouble, if somebody sues him or files a case against him, if he sold a faulty car, he will need a lawyer. And a doctor and a lawyer, all of these professions, they are graduates of a university. So he shouldn't say bad things about educated people. Miss Honey then realizes that this is just a waste of her time and she quietly leaves. She apologizes that I maybe disturbed you and your precious TV show, and then she leaves. And that is our lecture for